Hey there, second grade families. This is going to be a quick video to show you about some of the features in Google Classroom. Starting from the Google homepage, we are going to come up to the top right-hand corner to make sure that our child's CCPS account is the active account. We're going to know this because we're going to see their email address, their first.last name at stu.christian.kyschools.us listed at the top. You might be like me and have a personal or work Google account logged in as well. To access Google Classroom or the assignments in Google Classroom, your student's account will need to be the active account. You may sometimes receive the notification that you don't have permission or that you don't have access to a form or document on Google Classroom. This is almost always because Google is trying to access the document using one of your other Google accounts. Next, we're going to click on the waffle. This is where you can see all of the Google apps, including Gmail. By default, Google Classroom sends an email each time I make an assignment or grade an assignment. This is a feature that can be turned off in Google Classroom settings, or you can check your child's email to stay up to date. We're going to head on over to the Google Classroom app now. This is the Google Classroom homepage. If your child is in more than one Google Classroom, you will see them all listed here. All children should be in at least 2 Google Classrooms, their teacher's Google Classroom and the Specials Google Classroom. All assignments in the Specials Classroom are optional, but most kids really enjoy them because they relate to music, PE, and library. Before we go into my Google Classroom, I want to highlight this button at the bottom. This is a really quick way to check your child's work and grades and to see what's been completed and what still needs to be done. Here you can see some example assignments I've created. You can see a math assignment that's been turned in and graded, as well as a repeated reading assignment that's been assigned but not yet completed, a reading quiz that's been completed and graded and has a comment attached, and a get to know you assignment that was due on August 28th but has not yet been turned in, so it has a red missing marked in that area. When you check your child's work, anything that has the red missing needs to be completed right away, and all assigned work needs to be completed before the due date. The grade at the top can help you assess the general quality of work your child is turning into Google Classroom, but you will not see this grade on a report card. The grade reflects an average of all the assignments in Google Classroom, so it's averaging their math, reading, science, social studies, and writing grades all into one grade. In Infinite Campus and report cards, you will see the grades isolated by subject matter. Now we're going to click on Miss Cawood's class to go to My Google Classroom. The first page that you see is the class stream. This is where your child can make a post on their own, add pictures of themselves or projects they've been working on, and have discussions with other classmates for fun. When you're ready to work on assignments, you will come click on Classwork at the top of the page. At the very top here are assignments that I made as example assignments for this video, but the assignments you will complete will always be underneath headers with the dates that correlate with them. From here, you can click on assignments and complete them. Let's take a look at repeated reading. At my first click, it pulls up a page where I can see the directions and I can see the form that needs to be completed. Let's look at a more detailed view of the assignment though by clicking on View Assignment. When I click here, I can still see the instructions and I can still see the form that goes with the assignment. I also have a Mark as Done button. This is a tricky button, especially for second graders, because a lot of them want to just mark the Mark as Done button and move on. Marking as done does not actually complete the work, and I will not be able to see their submitted assignments. So they must go ahead and click here before they can mark an assignment as done. If it's an assignment that has a sheet like this to be turned in, you don't necessarily have to hit the Mark as Done button because I will see their work being submitted. There's also an area to add private comments. These are comments that will just come to me and I can respond privately to any questions, or you can add class comments. These are comments that can be seen by everyone who opens up the assignment. So to complete this assignment, we're going to go ahead and click on the form. And it goes ahead and automatically records our email address, so we do not have to have an area to put our name. We see that our first question is a question where we're going to have to type, and we always want to type in full and complete sentences using capital letters to start our sentences and ending marks, punctuation marks to end our sentences, really thinking about where we need capital letters, spaces, and spelling our words correctly. A great conversation to have with second graders is what that red squiggly line under a word means, and how that means that something is misspelled, and how you can use spell check to help you with that. So we see that our question says, before you read, preview the article, and it says, what do you think this text will be about? Well, we can go ahead and see from our title that preparing for a new puppy, we think that this is going to be about getting ready for a new puppy. So we're going to write that in a complete sentence. We're going to say, I think it will be about getting ready for a new puppy, and make sure we have our ending mark. Then we can scroll down and read our story, take a look at the pictures, and then we can have a couple of questions. These are multiple choice, so we don't have to type for them, where we're going to answer. I have not read this one yet, so we're just going to make our best guesses of what's the main idea of the text. We're going to say that this is how to prepare for a puppy, and our next one is going to say, what is the second paragraph mainly about? We're going to say it is about the everyday supplies that you're going to need. Then at the bottom, we're going to click Submit. And then this is the page that's going to come up once you've submitted it. You can go back in case you realize that you were misunderstanding something and edit your responses. So that will take us straight back to our responses. It still has what we did saved. And then we could switch something up and click Submit again. And there is our completed response. After that, we can exit out. And then we are done with that assignment. We can go back out and go back to our classwork there as well. So that's how we complete our assignments. Next, we're going to take a look at how to switch around some settings in Google Classroom. So to do that, you come over to our three bars here. You click on Settings. And here you can tailor it to what meets you and your family's needs. If you want to be receiving those emails about new post assignments and new grades, if you want to receive notifications about comments, private comments, if you want to receive notifications about work from other teachers, due date reminders, and customize it to your family's needs. Something else that I want to talk about in this main menu bar setting is the to-do list. This is also a very handy tool because it can show what work is assigned. Right now, since we just completed the repeated reading, we do not have any work assigned, but we will have some missing work that we need to catch up on, that get to know you assignment. And then we can go look at our completed work and see which ones have no due date, which ones we got done early, what we got done this week, what we have just turned in but was completed late, and really dive into that. The last thing that I want to show you is back out. Oh, you can also look through calendar, and this can show you when assignments are due as well. We're going to go back out to our classes and back into Ms. Cawood's class, because I also want to show you how in classwork you can come up to view your work, which takes us back to that shortcut page that we were at before we came into the Google Classroom. When you see comments here, you can click on the assignment and you can see the comment below. For our 100, we had some great work, but there's also where you can go in. We can see here that we didn't make full marks, so we can go and click on that form. We can see the answers that we got right, and we can also see the answers that we got wrong, where Ms. Cawood will make a comment saying, remember to pretend like the alligator's a mouth. The alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. So we can see what we got right, what we got wrong, and review over those questions as well. All right, finally, I want to talk about when we start having our Google Meet, our live lessons once a week on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. You can access those by clicking on the Google Meet button here, or going into classwork and clicking on the Google Meet button here. It will pull up a page where you're going to click Join Now. You can turn off your microphone, turn off your camera, turn on your camera, and turn off your microphone as well from those settings too. All right, I think that covers most of the basic points of Google Classroom. I hope that this helped answer some questions or help shed light on things that you were feeling confused on. Please let me know if there's any way I can help or if you need information about anything else. Thank you.